Coming up on River City Presents is a friend of the show who came on the first season, singer-songwriter Melanie Davis. Welcome to River City Presents. My name's Daniel Hurt. Melanie Davis came on the show back in season 1 with her album, Dear Diary, Do You Hate Me? That was her second record. Today, she's back on the show. This is our first musical guest that's come back with her new album, Locust, which is out August 4th, 2023, this year. Joining me is Melanie Davis. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
You know, you were our first musical guest, and I want to thank you for something because, I had been doing the show for a few months, and I was, admittedly a little bored with the current events and was looking for something new to do. And we talked about having you on to play music, and you did. And ever since then, it's been a really wonderful experience having musical guests on. It's really changed the show. So I want to thank you for being the first guest and adding that to us. So.
Well, thank you so much for letting me be the first guest. It was an honor.
Yes, absolutely. And your album was Dear Diary, Do You Hate Me, right? That was your second record?
It was, yeah.
And now you're back with your third. But before we get into that, I want to know, last time you were here, we were in the middle of COVID. We were separated much further apart.
Yeah.
So what's been going on since then? You've got a lot happening, right? So.
Yeah. We started recording Locust, I think in 2022, so I can't remember if we met in 21.
It was February, yes.
Yeah, so since then, got back into the swing of things with playing live music. That was a sort of tentative return into public spaces.
But that was good to be back though, right?
Oh, it definitely was, yeah. Just sort of outdoor spaces first, and then started to do the indoor ones, and now the gig schedule is pre-pandemic busy,
yes.
Which is very nice to be back.
And you had something else that you were working on, the Honeymoon Sessions, right? Tell us
Yes.
a little bit about that too.
So the Honeymoon Sessions, aptly named, my husband, Fate McAfee, and I. Fate is just a fantastic singer-songwriter
Absolutely.
from the area. And so we got married in October 2021, and we went on our honeymoon somewhere in Virginia. Can't remember the name of this really tiny town, but we were literally right on the top of a mountain. You were so high up you could actually see the clouds go by you, and you were in
wow.
a cloud. It was so cool. And we just holed up for a week and brought all our recording gear and recorded in our Airbnb for a week, and that was Honeymoon Sessions.
And those are available on Amazon and all the stuff too, right?
Yes, and that one's just a digital release. But yeah, all the online places you can get music.
And you also played, there was this thing called Judy the Blue Rose. You played
yes.
at Lowertown Music and Arts Festival, which was a great show. Tell us about how that came to be.
Judy came to be, we were asked if we would, Fate and I were asked if we'd like to participate in Lowertown, and of course the obvious answer is yes, absolutely. And we didn't really know how we wanted to. We thought, we could do a duo set, we could do something else. And we thought, why don't we bring all of our pals along so we can all be up on the main stage at Lowertown and have a blast. And so we created Judy and the Blue Rose. Fate and I are both really into Twin Peaks, and so it's a subtle nod to that.
Little Kyle MacLachlan in there, that's right.
That's right, yeah. And it was so much fun being in a full band. The solo and duo stuff is a lot of fun too, but getting to rock out is pretty sweet.
And that's not the only thing that you've done had involved basically all of the music scene that you're involved with either. You had a Beatles tribute for a charity recently, right? Tell us a little bit about why Beatles and what charity it was.
Yeah, so it was for the Paducah Cooperative Ministries. Luke Taylor, another great artist around here, he sort of coordinated the whole thing, and it was held at PBW. I think he chose the Beatles because...
Well, why not? They're the greatest rock band of all time, in my opinion.
Yes, and there was so much music to choose from, such a varied catalog. We had some of the poppy hits, like when they first came over to the U.S., and then some of the weirder ones. We were split up into two bands, and the main band that I was in, I did backup vocals for the other one, but the main one that I sang lead for, we did a lot of the trippy ones, like Day in the Life. We just decided to tackle that beast. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So many people came out. I think we raised a good amount of money for PCM. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was, Helter Skelter is not one you expect to hear. And that
Jake McCallum.
Wasn't that awesome?
Out of here.
Yeah.
Holy cow. The first time I ever heard that dude sing was at Oktoberfest at Dry Ground in 21, I think. Blew me away. I had no idea that dude could sing like that.
Yeah, no, that's and then of course you have to close with "Hey Jude," which is what you did. And
yes.
Just curious, do you have a favorite Beatles record?
I don't know if it's like cheesy to say this, but I really like Abbey Road.
Abbey Road's a good one.
Bunch of hits on there.
Rubber Soul's my favorite.
Yeah, that one's a good one too. It's hard to pick.
I don't believe the overrated stuff that they say. They're completely right where they're supposed to be.
Right. If it's good, it's good.
And another thing that happened too that I want to ask you about is a band that had been a staple in our community, Leonard the Band. They're no more. They had their album. I had Brian on to talk about their album. But you're working with Brian on a new project now. Tell us a little bit about, was it Family Bags?
Family Bags, yeah. That is Brian Rader's brainchild. And so I hopped on. He invited Fate and I over to the studio over New Year's Eve weekend. And he's like, yeah, we'll just figure it out when we're there. And I was like, okay. And so I thought I was doing background vocals. And I get to the studio and they needed a bass player. So I decided to pick up the bass and fiddle around.
Is that something you're familiar with? Or?
Familiar in C major, So no, probably is the answer. But I fiddled. And we ended up recording it. So now I'm playing bass for Family Bags. And yeah, it's, Brian's songwriting, which is incredible. It's simultaneously dancey, but also very introspective and smart and witty, and it's some of my favorite songwriting. So
well, I look forward to seeing y'all out whenever the time comes too.
Yeah.
But let's get to the main thing now. Honey Locust, which is your new record, which is out in August 4th of this year. How long has this been a work in progress? You said since last year, right?
Yes. Yeah, we started working just at home. Fate was the main engineer. We recorded everything at home. All the instruments were done either by me or him. So I think fall of 2022, we were like, this has to happen soon. And then early 2023, we carved out some weekends and just we're in the studio from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with meal breaks and just knocked it out.
Yeah, hammering it out. What about the themes for the record? I mean, you're playing today some music that folks will not have heard yet, which is, I find that very cool that we're getting the advance on that. But tell us about some of the themes and inspirations for the record.
Sure. So Honey Locust, the title, is an actual tree. I don't know if you've ever seen a honey locust tree.
I don't know that I have.
I don't know a lot about trees, so I'm not going to pretend that I do.
Sure.
But the honey locust tree looks pretty normal from far away, and when you get up close, you notice these really mean looking like spike balls that grow on the bark, and it looks really nasty and painful. But honey locust sounds like it would be really pleasant and soft and sweet. And so I started thinking about different facets of life that are kind of like that, where it maybe looks positive on the outside, but then when you look closer, it's much more negative, or the opposite, where something seems really bad, but then there are some positives to glean from it if you look closer.
Or something that appears harmless maybe, but up close is a little more dangerous maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or hollowed out. So it was just you and Fate on this record?
Yep.
Well, that's amazing. We're about out of time, but where can we find the new record? Where will it be available?
The new record will be, physical copies will be available at Terrapin, etc., and then online wherever you find music. And you can also yeah, just reach out to me. I have a whole box of them. I'll get you one. I'm on Facebook and all that. So.
And we're talking about Terrapin Station and in Murray and a Cedar Called House here in Paducah, right?
That's right.
Well, we're going to break away and let you get to it, and I look forward to hearing your music. Well, thank you again for coming on. It means a lot to me, our friendship and everything, and being my first musical guest a couple of years ago. That was a great experience. So thank you again.
Thank you, Daniel.
We're going to break away now, and we'll be back.
This first one is called Magnolia. Magnolia blooms peeking their heads out a little too soon. Roll me up tight, yeah, I thought we might find something to do. Foothills of Appalachia racing back to smile back at you, falling slowly fast. If you died today, where would you go? And by the way, have I told you nothing lasts? Watching the smoke from your cigarette dancing weightlessly on it. Peripheral dreams, I'm bursting at my seams, but when I look, I don't appear to be there. We watch the fire balance on telephone wires till the windows yawned in the heat. Drink was stronger than that in my cup, but I smiled as though you need. Just because it's home doesn't mean it's mine. Feelings made of tone to be perceived. No, I'm fine. I tried hard to love you the way that you like, as I watched you wrestling with both hands of time. Oh, the freedom to not wander and to be so heartbroken and wise. Hot summer skin and a long day of nothing, so I turned my eyes toward the clouds, just passing through as I'd like to be too, picking up dirt as I run out of time. Petals reaching toward the sky in an embrace of kudzu vines, the blossoms saved from the beasts. Little towns turned into shells of bricks and bones and dried up wells, but it's what you know at least. Just because it's home doesn't mean it's mine. Feelings made of tone to be perceived. No, I'm fine. I tried hard to love you the way that you like, as I watched you wrestling with both hands of time.
Oh, the freedom to not wander and to be so heartbroken and wise. So that one was a little bit about my hometown from Ohio, just the idea of being nostalgic for places that maybe are a little more romanticized in your head. This next one is called The Rind, and it's a song about grief and mourning and finding the positives within those spaces. Writing about the stars, wondering which one you're on now. So many miles from where you are, and I still can't figure out how it is that I'll call you on the phone, but you never pick up. I know it's crazy, but with each ring I think that maybe you'll be there, out of breath and running down the stairs to say hello. The hole that you left over that October grows larger in my chest. Sometimes it's just a pinprick, other times it threatens to eat the rest of each waking technicolor thought, from memories to rot, pink glasses and fuzzy screens, the slyest smirk you'd ever seen. Feel it now in my own cheeks, that's you and me, oh Huckleberry. There in the blackness of velvety night, there swung the copper moon. 3 hours later I opened my eyes to find you in my room. We sat on the floor singing songs from the 60s. Oh, how much more of this will it take to fix me? At least if I miss you, I get to keep you in mind. The melancholy means around the bittersweet flavor of rind. Time is just a circle out of which later on you're unstuck. And in a state of hurdles intermingled with ribbons of luck. That's all there is to it. You just gotta do it, or at the very least try to find her in little things, the way the neighborhood cardinals sing. Anything to not fall in the rabbit holes that go in wide. There in the blackness of velvety night, there swung a copper moon. 3 hours later I opened my eyes to find you in my room. We sat on the floor singing songs from the 60s. Oh, how much more of this will it take to fix me? At least if I miss you, I get to flavor of rind. All right, I'm gonna tune real quick, because my guitar can be temperamental. Just like me, we're similar in that way. This one that I'm gonna do next is the title track off the new record, Locust. And it's sung from the perspective of a scorned lover, but the other lover doing the scorning in this case is America. So this is Locust. Tiptoeing round familiar scenes, abject Americana clowns and homecoming queens. The fires put out have been lit again by ribbons of gasoline seeping out of Confederate dead. Oh, my lover, I can't say that I still recognize you. Oh, those lies do have a way of changing the lines on your face. But still I hold fast to the notion that I might surprise you. Yeah, maybe I'll rise to the occasion you've made in this place. But I look up to see an empty cup at my feet. You told me to drink it up and wait. Said it would feel like it was enough someday, but still my cup is bone dry. Gold in the veins has all been sucked out. Had the streets paved, it's private property now. In an effort to stay the ones most ahead, they blew holes in the mountains and lined the cul-de-sacs red. Oh, my lover, can't say that I still recognize you. Oh, those lies do have a way of changing the lines on your face. But still I hold fast to the notion that I might surprise you. Yeah, maybe I'll rise to the occasion you've made in this place. But I look up to see an empty cup at my feet. You told me to drink it up and wait. Said it would feel like it was enough someday, but still my cup is bone dry. They shot one more down on the 8 o'clock news. once the fear was fully perfused. Wisteria vines are wrapping round tight, but the blooms were so pretty we thought it'd be rude to mind. Oh, my lover, it can't say that I still recognize you. Oh, those lies do have a way of changing the lines on your face. But still I hold fast to the notion that I might surprise you. Yeah, maybe I'll rise to the occasion you've made in this place. But I look up to see an empty cup at my feet. You told me to drink it up and wait. You said it would feel like it was enough someday, but still my cup is bone dry. All right, if I have time for one more, I'm gonna do one called Eclipse. This is loosely based off a musical called The Fantastics. Wind starts to whip through an old field of corn, raised at the root, looking used and forlorn. In the moon silver light, the shadows arise in their shape like me. November air, she's cold on my skin, blissfully unaware of the shape that I'm in. You stay for a while, people drop in a smile that was meant to be pointed at me. Strip down the scenery, clear out the stage. Dream has been dampened by a cynic's plague. Box up the greenery, pour out the wine. The dream itself is neither yours nor mine. Now and again in twilight she'll play it back for me. A partner projector light in the dust in its speed. Backlit the reality tends to feel much less rewarding than when I loved blindly a hopeless romantic and green. Light on the river, it curves and it bends. You spoke the words that would bring us our end. There in the silence I sat all alone, feeling your fingers on my collarbones. Where in the depths of your mind do I hide? Am I out in the day or cloaked in the night? You knocked on the door, but nobody was home. There's cracks in the floor and the yard's overgrown. Strip down the scenery, clear out the stage. Dream has been dampened by a cynic's plague. Box up the greenery, pour out the wine. The dream itself was neither yours nor mine.
That was my guest, Melanie Davis. Her new record, Honey Locust, is out August 4th, 2023. Melanie Davis music is available for your listening pleasure on all mainstream music streaming platforms. Hope you enjoyed the show. Join us next time. Thank you.